Alright guys, so I thought I'd do a collection video. I don't think I did some collection videos when I first started my channel, but they weren't like an entire collection. They were just like, I think I picked the best games that I had on my Amiga, so just the best games on there. And with the Saturn, and I didn't have that many Saturn games anyway, I just picked all the kind of, horror and adventure collection type thing. I had more games, but I just picked those. But anyway, yeah, I thought I'd do a collection video on my Xbox 360 games for a change, just to do something different. So here we go. And some of these, well, quite a few of these I haven't played. I haven't got around to playing. First up then is Stranglehold. You'll have to excuse me, I'm doing this at a rather funny angle. I played it, but I couldn't get into it. It's good that it has the diving in there, and I see what they tried to do with like slowing down the time and everything, but it's just like it gets to a point where you're diving around everywhere and it's going to slow-mo like literally every 5 seconds, and it just gets annoying for me, so I couldn't get into it. It's not a bad game, but it's not great either. But I suppose if you just want someone to blast about in for 5 minutes, then yeah, it'll do. Ninja Blade, I've heard that it's a button basher, but a kind of really funny kind of tongue-in-cheek one, so I ain't played it, but I am looking forward to getting into that. I do like the odd button basher every now and again, but I don't like to get them too often because of the repetitiveness of them. The Darkness, I remember when this one came out. I do like FPSs, I do like horrors and all that kind of stuff. The Darkness, though, I don't know, something about it just didn't appeal to me, and I certainly wasn't going to pay full price for it. But I managed to pick this up for a couple of quid. Still haven't played it. I will get around to it because, as I say, I do want to get around to playing a lot of these. But yeah, The Darkness, I'm not sure whether I'd be into it too much, but it's meant to be good. And another one I haven't got around to playing is Cameo, Elements of Power. I think this was an Xbox title originally. Well, I've got the picture of it on the back of my the box for my original Xbox anyway. But yeah, it's one that I played the demo and I've seen videos of it and stuff, and it looks really interesting, and I picked it up because I really wanted to play it, and plus it was only like something stupid like £4, £4.50. Next up, Saints Row 2. I know everyone goes on about how Saints Row 2 is just a copy of Grand Theft Auto. That's very true, that is, but apparently Saints Row 2 is meant to be more fun to play than GTA 4 or 5 or whatever it is that came out on the PS3 and Xbox 360, which I have played, and yeah, the new GTA is just, it's really boring. They took a lot of stuff out of the game just to fit the multiplayer in, so all the stuff that I expected to be in there from San Andreas wasn't in there, which made the game more boring, and the multiplayer just wasn't that great, to be honest with you. So yeah, Saints Row 2, I haven't played it yet. I like the fact that you can really make your character really wacky, so I've played that much of it anyway, just to see the character creation stuff, and like I said, this is meant to be more fun, so I'll get around to playing that at some point. I'm sure it's going to be a lot more fun than GTA was. So, the Sega Mega Drive Ultimate Collection, what can I say? There is like 49 games on there. I think it says 40 games there, but there's like a load of ones you have to unlock from the Master System and stuff. And what can you say? It's got all the 16-bit Shining Force and Phantasy Star games, plus all the Streets of Rage, plus all the Sonic games, plus extra. So this is by far one of the best, and plus it was like £23 when it was released. So yeah, Sega really like went all out on this. The only thing I didn't like was that they didn't add 2-player online co-op, which I thought was really bizarre, seeing as they've done that on the single releases of stuff like Streets of Rage 2 on Xbox Live Arcade, and there was no leaderboards. So apart from those two things, this is just awesome. I really wish they'd put online co-op in there. So I do recommend picking it up. Next up is Star Wars The Force Unleashed. Waited till it went cheap, bought it, played it. I wouldn't exactly say I was totally amazed by it. I enjoyed my playthrough through it, although at times it was really annoying, the repetitiveness and the because they put the checkpoints in stupid places, so it meant you have to keep watching the same old cutscenes which you couldn't skip, and doing the same old bits over and over again. That got really annoying. It wasn't the be-all end-all Star Wars game that they always make out that the Star Wars games are. Like I said, I think I've said in one of my other videos that all the Star Wars games since the early days of Star Wars Arcade or whatever it was, what was it? Super Star Wars. All the Star Wars games ever since have just been, they hype them up to be the best things ever, and they just turn out to be a pile of shit. This is worth a playthrough, but it's not great. It's not bad. It's just okay. It's just like whatever. So that's the kind of game that is. Anyway. Next up, Bully. I know this was an old one. It was a PS2 game, and I must say I waited to the 360 to play it, and brilliant game, absolutely brilliant. The comedy in it is a spot on. They should definitely try and make a Bully 2, but I'm not sure how good that would turn out. But yeah, this game's brilliant. You could probably pick it up really cheap now as well. Next up, I still ain't played this, Brutal Legend. Heard it's really good. It's based on heavy metal album covers, got Jack Black in it, Lemmy doing the voices in it and stuff. So yeah, and Ozzy Osbourne and stuff. So really looking forward to playing that at some point. Here's another button basher I've been wanting since it came out, Dante's Inferno. Looking forward to playing that. What else can I say about it? Button basher, but like I said, I like them every now and again. Splinter Cell Double Agent. Heard this really good game. Never played any of Splinter Cell games, so I don't know what that one's like. I'll give it a blast. Like I said, as you can see, it was only a $5, so can't really complain on that. Now, every computer needs a killer app, and Gears of War series is certainly that for the 360. Just epic games, really. Just fantastic. Just one of the best third-person shooters I've played. Just, I don't know what to say apart from if you haven't played it, then you're missing out, really. It's just one of those exclusives that you just have to play. Tomb Raider Underworld. Heard this was a kind of return to form for the Tomb Raider series, which is nice to see. Haven't played it yet. I played the demo, which I liked, so I picked this up, but I haven't got around to playing it yet, so I'm going to enjoy that when I play it. Next up, if I can bloody get it out, is Bioshock. Bioshock, what can I say about Bioshock? I really liked it because I had that kind of Jules Verne thing going on, and that really appealed to me. And I liked it up until halfway through, but after you get halfway through, you don't really get any set pieces in there, so it just becomes a same old by the numbers, run of the mill corridor shooter, unfortunately. And I expected, because it was in this underwater world, I expected loads of set pieces and just making you feel like you're in this city underwater, but once you get halfway through, that all stops, so it got kind of boring after halfway through. I did complete it in the end, but yeah, it's a pity it didn't grab me all the way through. Next up is Left 4 Dead. Great game for 4-player co-op, not so great in single player, although you can enjoy it in single player. What disappointed me most about this game is that it didn't have a storyline, like a storyline going all the way through the game, linking the characters and just, telling the story of them trying to survive. Basically, it gives you this cutscene at the start of the game, and that's basically the story. You don't get anything else. It's just that cutscene, and just do each level, 4 levels or 5 levels or whatever it was, and that just, I was really disappointed with that. I was hoping there was going to actually be a storyline throughout the game, so I was a bit disappointed about that, so I didn't pick the second one up. And it's alright, I just didn't think it's not one of those games that's a be-all and end-all that it was made out to be. Next up is Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter. It's alright, I just couldn't get into it really. Nothing in particular. It is a good game, I just couldn't really get into it. Next up, one of the best kind of horror games I've played this generation is Condemned. I really liked the fact that instead of using guns and it, you know, just being blood everywhere and just you know, zombies and monsters and all that, it was a melee horror game. So instead of it being a first-person shooter, you relied on melee weapons. Now there was guns in there, but you didn't really use them, and the game didn't really want you to use them, if that makes any sense. Everything was focused on using melee weapons like pipes, hammers, crowbars, and that ramped the tension up really high, because every so often you'd get these people, homeless people, jump out on you with crowbars and try and bludgeon you to death, and you could only take like 2 blows and then you're dead. So the other thing was, to block their blows you had to time everything. You had to time the block, and if you mistime that block, then obviously they would strike it, and like I said, you only got they could only strike you a couple of blows and then you're dead. So it just made the tension go up phenomenally, and it's just a brilliant game. Okay, next up is Condemned 2. Really disappointed with this one. Instead of focusing again on, if they ain't broke, don't fix it. So what did they do? They tried to fix it. So instead of keeping the focus on the melee action, they putting, you know, the odd revolver in there that you could use, but the game didn't really want you to use it. They put machine guns and everything in there. Instead of putting them there but not really wanting you to use it, they kind of force you to use it. So then there's no melee action in there. A lot of it is using like machine guns and stuff, which I didn't like, and it didn't fit the game either. The other thing was they put all these funny like visual effects in, like from that you see in films like The Ring and White Noise, all those kind of staticky horror, you know, kind of effects, and it didn't work. It really didn't work. It spoilt the shit out of the game, and I just feel like because of that they just messed with the formula and it didn't work. It spoilt the formula, if anything, because like I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Okay, Dead Space. I haven't completed it yet. I am going through it. Really enjoying it. It ain't scary, but it is quite like tense, because you've got limited ammo and you don't know what's around the next corner. The other thing is, you have to kill the enemies, you have to dismember them with your guns. So you can't just shoot them in the body, because that doesn't do anything really. So that just ramps the tension up, which makes the game better. But it ain't scary, but it's definitely a good game. This game was a hell of a lot of fun. Wolfenstein. They changed it around from Return to Castle Wolfenstein, whereas Return to Castle Wolfenstein felt more of a kind of horror sort of survival game. This one is very much more focused on action. It's very much more an action game. Plus there's a lot of exploring and hidden areas and everything. It's a hell of a lot of fun. In fact, I had more fun playing this than I ever did in the time that I played Call of Duty 2. So I was having a ball playing this. I just wish I played this sooner. Next up, squeeze this in for my memory runs out. Next up is Battlefield Bad Company 2. The first Bad Company had so many problems, glitches, bugs, the multiplayer was laggy, the hit detection was way off, so many problems with that game. Then they brought out, I think it was the Xbox Live Arcade game, I think it was 1942 or 43 or something. That addressed many of the problems and it was good, so I decided to pick this up, and lo and behold, they fixed all the problems. There's hardly any lag in it. Of course you get the odd bit every now and again. The hit detection is spot on, the weapons are balanced. It's just a brilliant game. The campaign's a little short, but what you're really buying with this game for is the multiplayer, and it beats the shit out of Call of Duty, so I really recommend this one. So that's all for this part, and tune in to my second part for all the rest of the other games, guys.